Hi, I'm Amy Britton, Vice President of Development at Envision Dallas.
And I'm Taylor Bunn, Executive Director of Hope for All.
Welcome to Envision Dallas. Our mission is to improve the quality of life and provide inspiration and opportunity for people who are blind or visually impaired through employment, outreach, rehabilitation, education, and research. As you can see, we make different products, including all kinds of safety gear and reflective vests used by Texas Department of Transportation and the federal government, 9mm pouches and entrenchment tool carriers used by the United States military, face masks, and different types of markers. Our products are sold to all branches of the military, the federal government, and state agencies across all of Texas. Over 82% of the employees in our manufacturing facility are blind or visually impaired. We have an amazing call center. We do both inbound and outbound sales. Esther's Place is an amazing opportunity for people to come in and learn independence in a home environment. One-on-one assistive technology, teaching people how to be independent. So we're helping them use their computer, use their iPhone, be able to use different things, lets people stay in their home independently longer, stay connected with people, and build that sense of community. Art is an incredible way for people who are blind and visually impaired to be able to express themselves. Oftentimes, they're excluded from community. They don't have a way to express themselves creatively. Our trainers teach people how to use tactile art and get their thoughts and ideas onto page and onto paper. It's amazing.
Hope for All makes North Texas a better place by communicating, connecting volunteers, collaborating, and closing gaps in support of equity, education, environmental concerns, and equine charities. Rather than duplicating efforts and competing for funding, we focus on supporting the work and missions of existing nonprofits by supplying people power, tangible goods, sponsorships, and financial support for traditionally underfunded areas. Since beginning our work in August of 2019, we've raised awareness with blog posts, social media posts, and videos earning 12,235 engagements. We've also deployed volunteers for a total of 171 volunteer hours. We've directly supported or collaborated with 38 local organizations. And we've donated $98,975 in cash, tangible goods, and in-kind services.
So, thinking about discovery, I think the way this organically came together was Taylor and I were exploring our different missions, and we found some synergy and alignment around equity. And through those conversations, we recognized also a mutual need for volunteers.
That's right, Amy. So one of Hope for All's biggest priorities in 2020 was to develop our capacity to recruit and deploy volunteers out in the community to close some of the people power gaps that were being experienced. But with the COVID-19 pandemic, it really put a stop to our ability to recruit these volunteers. And then at Envision, where they have relied on volunteers for some of their activities, they weren't able to attract people.
In September, Taylor and I both conducted stakeholder interviews. We interviewed a volunteer, a donor, a board member, and an intern, and really reflected on those interviews together, used that information to create concept maps. Each of us developed our own concept map, and then we shared them afterwards, and kind of used that as an opportunity to assess and evaluate. Throughout that process, we identified volunteer opportunities where we had this missional alignment.
A Hope for All Quarter 4 spotlight on Envision Dallas allows both organization opportunities to increase our collective impact. We've raised awareness for each other's missions and the need for volunteers through videos and cross-posting social media posts. We've recruited volunteers for a specific opportunity, walking blind and visually impaired employees to their transportation home at the end of the day, which allows both of us to hone our processes for recruitment and deployment of volunteers, and also gives us an opportunity to build our individual volunteer pools. And Hope for All collects initial donations that are then provided to Envision Dallas, which helps us both with our bottom lines and showing that we are viable, sustainable organizations.
And so in October, we identified and rallied our stakeholders. And I think we were both a little bit surprised at how many people this project was going to take. And we really decided that rather than just doing one video, we had an opportunity to partner through the whole quarter to offer volunteer services. So we then defined roles and responsibilities to see what Envision was going to do as the organization that needed volunteers, and then what Hope for All would contribute as the volunteer provider, communicator, and then additional funding partner.
Envision Dallas stakeholders include members of our development team, programs and services, and our outreach staff.
Hope for All stakeholders include myself, our intern and volunteer coordinator, web designer, video producer, board of directors, and of course the volunteers, donors, and everyone who engages with us and views our videos.
Envision Dallas's roles and responsibilities are to provide the content, expertise, and film footage to support video making, provide volunteer background checks, job descriptions, and support for volunteers, like and share the promotional materials on social media, email, and in print.
Hope for All has created and published 2 Awareness Wednesday videos with at least one more coming soon. We've published the Sign Up Genius volunteer link and will manage the volunteer process. We have published our fundraising campaign and begun collecting donations, and will continue to cross-post Envision social media posts until the end of this campaign.
Moving into November, we filmed our second video. We filmed a tour designed to raise awareness about Envision, our facilities, the programs we offer, and promoted that through social media. And we've received our first donation. We received our first donation of $50, and that covers a volunteer shift based on the independent sector's 2020 value of a volunteer hour. So we're really excited about that.
As we move into December, we'll post our final videos to raise awareness about Envision and Hope for All. We'll continue the campaign, continue recruiting volunteers and trying to raise funds for Envision. And then finally, we'll get together and evaluate the impact of this collaboration so that both of us can share with our supporters and hopefully interest more people in engaging with both organizations in the future.
The first benefit that we've realized through this community partnership is increased awareness. We have a goal of 1,000 engagements, and the outcomes we anticipate are increased understanding of social media analytics tools and lifelong followers.
We hope the process and documents we've created will help us complete 75 volunteer hours for this project, but more importantly, we hope to gain lifelong volunteers and a clearer process overall for recruiting, managing, and evaluating volunteers for future opportunities.
Another benefit of this community partnership is donations. We have a goal to raise $2,020 through this donor campaign. The outcomes we expect are increased immediate funding for both organizations and lifelong donors. We are so happy and thrilled about this partnership. This really has been a great learning opportunity and model for how to bring 2 organizations together in a really positive experience. I think having the dialogue up front, learning about the different ways that we can support and lift up each organization has been such a positive experience for me. And some of the benefits of this partnership within Envision that weren't expected are that we've had an opportunity to dig into our internal policies and processes. We've clarified roles and responsibilities where there was some ambiguity. It's really set us on a path to engage volunteers effectively, and I know that will have a positive impact on our philanthropy.
Likewise, Amy, we've learned a lot from going through this process with Envision and learning from them, from an organization with a more established volunteer program, how to do background checks, what should be on an application. I think Hope for All is really honing our own practices based on what we've learned from Envision. And then, of course, we look forward to seeing what our final numbers are in the evaluation phase and look forward to sharing our final impact with all of you.
We invite you all to join us online at hopeforall.us to learn more.